Here we are together again on the radio. I have seen a number of articles recently about women complaining that men don't call them back. I can't believe women are not getting the message. You know, women say, well, we went on a date and it seemed to go really well. At the end of the date, he told me he'd call me, and next morning I got about 7:30 and 7:45, and I haven't heard from him yet. Or they complain that he didn't call a day or 2 or 3 later, or even a week later. And ladies, there are 2 possible reasons for this. The most likely one is he just doesn't like you. He spent that evening with you, and listening to you was more than he could bear. But clearly he was trying to be polite and do the right thing, so he persevered with the evening. When the evening was over, he didn't want confrontation. Didn't want to tell you all the reasons why he had no intention of ever calling you again. So, just like in L.A., people say, let's do lunch, who never have any intention of calling you. If you live in SoCal, you know that's how we are. We just think you're expected to say that, so we say what you want to hear. Same thing with this. We say, I'll call you. I'll call you, though, does not have an expiration date on it. I'll call you could be tomorrow. It could be a week from tomorrow. It could be a month from tomorrow. It could be 6 months from now after I've had too much to drink, and it's late. And I would, at the very least, like to hear your voice. The other thing is that I tell guys don't call. Don't, or say you'll call and then don't. Because women are far more interested in guys who are unreliable, unpredictable jerks than they are in the reliable, dependable types. Oh, sure, they don't want to marry guys like that. But that's okay, because I'm not looking to get married, you see? No, but the guys they have sex with are the unreliable, undependable jerks. So if you tell a woman, oh, I'll call you, and then you call her tomorrow morning at 7:30, and then you have flowers on her desk by 9, she either dismisses you out of hand, or she starts thinking that the biological time clock is ticking, and Poindexter would make a perfect husband, perfect sperm donor, and human wallet. I say it's never a good idea to call her back within a week of seeing her. It's just never a good idea. It puts you behind the 8 ball. What you want to do as a man is lower her self-esteem, make her question herself, increase her sense of insecurity. Women, whether they like to admit it or not, whether they think they are 21st century women or they don't, let's face it, women are defined by their desirability to men. That's how they're defined. We define a woman's worth by how desirable she is to a man. And how desirable she is to a man indicates how much control she can gain over his life, how much she can change him, how much she can browbeat him, how much she can make, expecting you to fulfill that commitment. Once you do, she'll have other tasks, other assignments, and you don't realize you're being pulled into the quicksand. You have to nip that stuff in the bud. So if she tries to get you to commit to call her tomorrow or at some specific time, if you don't have the strength to resist that, just say you'll do it and then don't. But the best thing to do is tell her you're busy, or you'll try, or you'll see, and then make her sweat. The insecure woman with low self-esteem is more than likely to do anything you want her to do to get you to like her. The woman who is secure, confident, which are usually these Jordan Sparks-type fatties or fuglies, you know what I'm talking about. These women are very hard to break down. It's easier to get laid by a 9 or a 10 because 9s and 10s are completely insecure, completely paranoid because any imperfection is magnified by 1,000. These are women who weigh 108 pounds and self-respect. Use backhanded compliments to humiliate her at the same time that it sounds like you're doing something nice. And then she's pretty much putty in your hands because she wants to do anything she has to do to get you to treat her better. They will do anything when you get them in that position. When they are confident and secure, they'll do nothing, and they will flaunt it. They will lord it over you. You're not getting what you want, you know. But a woman who's insecure and has low self-esteem, she'll pretty much do whatever you want. That's what you need to do. Calling a woman immediately, you know, giving her what she wants like that, you can't do it. You can't. You can't and you shouldn't. It's that simple. So my question for you is simple, okay? Very simple. Do you have a problem with this? Is there a problem with this? I mean, look, it works. This is not a show that teaches people how to get married or how to walk hand in hand into the sunset. This is a show that generally is on the side of men, and we, on one segment of the program, teach guys how to get laid. And the rest of the time, we just teach guys how to maintain the upper hand. Doesn't this fit right in? There's nothing wrong with this, is there? Can you do it? Do you have a hard time doing this? Let me know.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM. 1-800-5800-866.
There's no equal opportunity on this show. On this show, it's a dictatorship, and I run it.
You are the man.
Yes, I am.
This is the Tom Leykis Show.
It's the Tom Leykis Show at 1-800-5800-TOM. What are you guys doing? Calling her back, being reliable, dependable. Women are whining about the fact that we don't call them. We don't call them fast enough. That's only if we're doing it right. Gino.
Tom.
Not much.
I've been listening to your show for a long time, and I've been a good student for a while now. Only thing I haven't learned is the backhanded compliment. I don't think I ever heard examples. Is it possible to school me on that?
Yeah, backhanded compliments. The examples we generally give are, you know what a backhanded compliment is, right?
Not quite sure.
A backhanded compliment sounds like a compliment, but it's really a dig. Like when you say to a woman, I don't care what anybody says, I think you're hot.
All right, I get it.
Or maybe other guys feel differently, but I like a chick with a little extra meat on her bones.
I got you. All right, I got you. Well, I'll do it. I think I've been doing it for a while. I just didn't know it was a backhand compliment.
Yes, and the thing is, it's great. They're bulletproof because she can't say you're not complimenting her.
Exactly.
The idea is to throw her off her game, to make her feel insecure.
Very true. Tom, you're a genius. Love this. Keep it up.
Gino, thank you.
Thank you.
1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Linda on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Good afternoon, Tom. Love your show. Keep up the good work.
Thank you.
I have a gripe with you with regard to the I'll call you phrase. Men are always bitching about truth in advertising. I think men are very visually oriented. In other words, they want the woman to match the picture once they finally meet the woman. I think the opposite holds true for women. I think women are auditorily based. So we don't want you to say, I'll call you, when you have zero intention of calling us.
We don't care what you want. The trick is for us to say we'll call you and then not actually do it.
Yeah, but if you have no intention of calling, why even bother going there?
To make you feel insecure, like, why didn't we call you? And it works.
Well, I do know that it works, but
well, that's why.
I mean,
because it works.
You get off on the power of it.
It works.
Off on the power of making her feel insecure.
You are much more likely to have sex with me sooner if I make you feel insecure than if I compliment you and make you feel like a princess.
I agree with you, but if
that's
it's
why.
your intention to not see her again, why bother with that line?
But we don't know what our intention is. You know, the way men think, and this is something you should know, is that we don't know if we'll ever see you again. Certainly, if nothing better comes along, we might. If something better does come along, maybe we'll never call you again.
Tom, wouldn't you agree with me that after like a day or two or so, if you really haven't called her back, you're really not going to call her back? I mean, come on, you're going to let 2 weeks go by and then
there's a nation. There is a nation of drunk dialers out there who would disagree with you. Come on, you've gotten those calls, haven't you?
I suppose.
Yeah. Have you ever had a call where you had to say to a man, "Do you know what time it is?"
It's always after 11 p.m., isn't it?
That's right, darling. So, you see, you can't say for sure a guy's never going to call you again because, really, you've seen what guys' little black books are like. Women imagine that every woman in the little black book is hot.
Yes.
The reality is every woman there has a night depository.
True, but
and if there's no depository conveniently located, you might need to drive a little bit to get to another one.
I hear you, but I think if you guys were to stop with that phrase, then you could spend more time on finding the chicks that you really do want to spend time with.
But dear, we don't want to spend any time with you. We just want to have sex and get out. Spending time with you is a burden on us.
I mean, I guess if you're loading up your bullpen to, to take care of all those days where you need it, I mean, I guess your strategy works, but...
But that's, again, dear, you're a 44-year-old female. I'm speaking as a man, and I'm speaking for the way men think. And men have tried to use you this way if they haven't already succeeded, even without your knowledge.
Oh.
I was watching an interview on the Today Show. Why they had... Do you even know who... Well, you're 44, you might know. Do you know who Marlo Thomas is?
Yes.
She's the wife of Phil Donahue.
Yes.
And for some reason, she was doing an interview on the Today Show this week with young women who were in college.
Okay.
And there's Marlo, who by now has got to be 60-something.
Right.
Trying to, connect with these young women. So she's asking them, what is hooking up? And things like that. So anyway, one of the girls she was interviewing, who was like a senior in college, said that she was going out with a boyfriend for 8 months until she finally found out that he thought they were just hooking up.
As are most men.
But they see, that's what I'm trying to tell you. You could very well have been one of those people.
I could have been.
That's what I'm trying to tell you.
I've learned my lesson the hard way. But
right.
Yes, I know this now.
Right. But now think, see, you already know this, but you're 44 years old. Now let's take it to 24 years old.
Yeah, you don't know it back then. You know,
That's
we're
right.
all into relationships.
That's right.
He's so into me.
That's right.
Oh, he did this, that, and the other, so this
That's
and
right.
the other.
So you see, you really do agree with what I'm saying.
I do agree that it works. I'm just saying, if you guys bitch that you want truth in advertising on your end with the visual aspect,
we don't care. That's the whole point.
Want truth in advertising.
I was liberated, dear. I was liberated the day I decided I don't care what women do in their free time. I don't care if they have a MySpace page. I don't care if they're on Facebook. I don't care if they're on Yahoo Personals or Match.com or JDate. I don't care if they've got male friends. I don't care if they occasionally hook up with their high school sweetheart. I don't care. I don't care. There's no jealousy, no anger. And if they don't have time to hook up with me, that's fine. I make a call to the bullpen. I bring somebody in for middle relief.
Well, I guess that works for you at this stage in your life.
It would have worked at any stage, but I had an epiphany.
Well, you've been burned one too many times. I guess 4 times you're out, huh?
Well, that's certainly the truth.
I feel you, Tom. I'm sorry you had to go through all that pain.
Well, dear, I'm not alone. I don't claim to be a unique individual. Many of the men out there who enthusiastically endorse what I say have been through the same thing.
I agree. I do see this happening. I agree.
And so it's up to us to just use what works. Who cares about truth in advertising? We don't even care. We love fake boobs. 60% of American women color their hair. I mean, how much truth is out there anyway?
Well, you want them attractive, don't you?
Darling, coloring your hair doesn't necessarily make you attractive.
Well, for some it does. I mean, I guess if you have gray hair or whatever.
Well, let me give you an example. I like chicks with dark or olive skin and dark hair. I don't want you in red hair or blonde hair. It does not go with olive skin. It just doesn't.
Right. No, I agree.
It does not necessarily make you more attractive.
Right. No, you take a Jessica Alba or a Ava Longoria and put them with lighter color hair and it doesn't look
They've already done it. They've both done it.
But by the same token, if you take Jessica Simpson or Britney Spears and you leave them in brown hair, they look like a dish rag.
I don't agree with that.
You think they look attractive?
That body on Jessica Simpson, she could have green hair. It doesn't matter.
Well, I don't know. She looks very, very plain and ordinary to me without that blonde hair.
Again, you're not speaking as a man.
Okay, if it works for you.
What works for me is easy availability, easy on, easy off. You like the McDonald's up near Hanford, California. Easy in, easy out. and open 24/7.
That's all you and they are out for. It does work. I will give you that.
I said definitely, if you're looking to fall in love, if you're looking to be like Dr. Neil Clark Warren with your 29 levels of compatibility, this is not going to work for you. But our listeners are not looking for that.
Wouldn't you agree that most men at some point in their lives do want to, hook up with something long-term? Only because they don't know any better. So,
and I'm including myself in that list.
Is it your advice that men should never?
I'm saying that, well, certainly never get married.
For yourself. I mean, you've already been there, done that.
No, for anyone.
In general, for most men.
For anyone.
Your advice is to men to never get married?
Never get married.
Just have an arrangement.
Don't even need an arrangement.
All right. Well, I think the whole marriage thing is a whole female concoction anyway.
Of course it is.
I mean, basically, it was originally, created back in the day 2,000 years ago to protect the kids. I mean, basically, that's what it was for. So,
the wedding ring symbolizes, and I'm not making this up, it symbolizes the link in a chain. Like you're chaining somebody down.
No, it symbolizes eternity.
No, ma'am. No.
No?
No. No, it symbolizes a link in a chain. And you're both wearing one. So you're linked together.
Okay.
That's where it comes from. Jewelry store ads will tell you it symbolizes eternity because they certainly don't have a vested interest in telling you it's reminiscent of slavery.
That's funny.
Yeah. You watch a De Beers ad on TV with all that string music playing in it.
Oh, God. They just make me cry every time I hear one of those ads.
They're going to tell you that represents eternity, but trust me, look it up, dear.
Okay, I will.
The wedding ring goes back to the days when, people were being shackled for any number of reasons.
And this is just one more shackle that men don't need, is that it?
That's right.
Wow, aren't you the unlocker of all the...
I'm the Abraham Lincoln. I'm the Abraham Lincoln of men. I've just made my Emancipation Proclamation.
Just don't get killed while you're at it.
As opposed to Dean J. D'Amelio, who had the Constipation Proclamation after he got off the Atkins diet.
That's funny.
Right, dear.
You're a riot, Tom. I love you so much.
Why?
Long-time listener.
Why? Thank you. See that? She loves me, even though I say all that stuff. She loves me anyway. And it proves my point. It proves my point. Inga, you're on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hi.
Hi.
Hey, this is Tom?
Oh, did you want to talk to Tom?
Yeah, I called for Tom. I'd like to speak with him regarding his views on dating.
All right. Hold on. From Hollywood, it's the Tom Leykis Show. At 1-800-5800-TOM. This is Inga, the Tom Leykis Show.
Hi, Tom. It's Inga. How are you?
Great.
Well, I'm a first-time listener, first-time caller.
Yeah.
I am so sorry to say, but I agree to your views on dating, and I feel as if your views have got to be 10 to 15 years old.
Well, they
Women
work.
are no longer desperate.
Darling,
and the
trust me when I tell you.
Men have gotten feminine,
darling,
women have gotten hard.
The fat and fugly women, those women, of course, are all fat and sassy, and they're all that. But when it comes to really hot chicks, they're as insecure as ever. Their self-esteem.
I'm a hot chick. I am an actress, print model, and writer, and I am not desperate.
There are exceptions to every rule.
By choice.
Even a broken clock. Even a broken clock is right twice a day.
On women, because not all of us are desperate.
Well, again, no one said all of you are. Just most of you.
Sexuality right now, men are learning how it is and how it feels.
Don't be using any language. Don't be using any language you can't use on the air, dear.
I'm so sorry. Forgive me. You could beep it out. But at the same time, your views are 10 to 15 years old.
Well, dear, they work. And you hear all the men who call in here who say that they do what I recommend and that it works. They get more ass than a toilet seat. They say it all the time.
It's been hurt a million times by women.
Doesn't matter.
And I sense bitterness.
Doesn't matter. You know what?
And that is so unfair.
Most men out there have had their hearts carved out by a woman at some time or another. That's the bottom line.
Did your dad treat your mother that way? Is that where you...
It's really irrelevant.
No. Don't preach that to the young youth.
Oh, I'm going to continue. The young youth? How about the old youth?
You're gonna chase them into homosexuality.
No, I'm not. Are you insane? I'm not chasing anybody into homosexuality. My men have sex with women, and they're happy with what they're getting, and they report all the time. Here, let's get Jesse.
Are you well endowed? Is that why?
Well, you didn't complain when I had you that night when you were blitzed. Hey, Jesse, what did you want to say to Inga?
You can't afford me.
You don't know if Jesse... You got Jesse's...
afford me, honey. You want to...
Oh, please.
Pay.
I can buy and sell you. I can put you up on eBay.
Oh, no. No, honey, they don't come like me. But change your views.
Hang on a second. Jeff, do you hear what Inga's saying here? Hey, watch your mouth. Next time I'm hanging up.
Tom.
Yes, Jeff. What do you think about what Inga is saying?
She's just completely whacked. You just need to hang up on her. She's crazy. And I got to tell you, not only does this work, it's like the ultimate hookup tool. I was out a few years ago at a sushi bar on Sunset, having a good time on New Year's Eve, just hanging out with some of my friends. I go out on the patio, and there's this dude with huge hair, and I'm like, nice hair, guy. And this girl comes up to me, and she's like, who do you think you are to, put his hair down? I looked at her, I said, who the F asked you your opinion? Her mouth was wide open. While it was wide open, I started kissing her. She started kissing me back right there and then. And then she looked at me. She kissed me for like 3 minutes, and then she looked at me, and she's like, I don't know why I'm kissing you. You're a complete jerk.
That is why she's kissing you.
I said, well, I don't know why I'm kissing you either, but... it works. It's the ultimate hookup tool. Just go out. I mean, you could do this on, like, one of your shows. When you're doing a live audience, just have some guys go up to girls and just talk nasty to them. I mean, just put them down. Put their purse down. Put their shoes down.
Let me tell you one of the most effective lines I use when I'm met in public by women, and they know what I believe, okay? Obviously, you'd have to have a radio show to use this one, or you would have to have had a conversation like this with a woman. I've had women come up to me in public and confront me, and they say, why do you think all women are gold diggers? And I look them straight in the eye, and I say, I don't think all women are gold diggers, just the attractive ones.
Yeah, and rightfully so. I mean,
well, but see, then what happens is, then the woman thinks you're saying she's ugly. Which, of course, in an indirect way, you are.
But it does, I mean...
You know how many of these women end up sitting in my lap before the end of the night?
I don't even want to be your lap. You probably have a rug burn on.
No, I don't want you in my lap. But, so, Inga, you're so hostile. Where did Inga go?
I mean, it's got to have something to do with insecurity and just leveling the playing field, but it works. I mean...
Well, I'm going to continue being, mean, nasty. I'm going to give backhanded compliments. I'm going to continue to be unreliable, undependable, and unpredictable. And I will continue to be the most desired male that any of these women know.
Or you could be a computer dork and send flowers and then tell me how much tail you get.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-866.
Okay.
Tom Leykis. 1-800-5800-TOM.
What I would do if I was getting married is I would say, to love, honor, and cherish until you become a fat pig, in which case I'm gone.
The Tom Leykis Show.
From Hollywood, the Tom Leykis Show. 1-800-5800-TOM. Thank you for tuning in. Thanks for being part of our program. We appreciate it. I don't understand all these complaints from women out there. We don't call, men don't call. We say we're going to call, and we don't. Ladies, get a clue. We either are not into you, or we're just playing you so that we throw you off your game. I recommend that guys continue to do it because it works like a charm. Mitchell on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hello, Tom.
Hello, Mitchell.
Let me start by saying, dude, you are a pimp. I love that you have the balls to just say things to other people that nobody else would dare say. And it just slaps them in the face with reality. That's awesome.
Thank you.
So, all right, I was raised a Mormon, and I was raised to be, to have good manners and open the door for everybody and be really nice and really sweet and really polite. And I've been listening to you for a year and a half, and I'm working toward, being a pimp like you are, but it's hard to convince myself to start delivering these, as you call them, backhanded compliments. And I've done so, just like, okay, what would I say normally? And then basically abandon that completely and say just the opposite, be completely rude and think to myself, I can't believe I'm saying this. But like you said, it works. They're just, they can't tear themselves away from you. Like they'll just cater to you the rest of the night.
So you have to just keep working on that. It's almost like an exercise. You have to continue practicing at it.
Yeah, and I do. I'm practicing, but it's difficult, and like I said, whenever I've tried it, it definitely works. So I'm giving it a shot. I'm trying to live the Leykis 101, and every time I've adhered to it, it works. It works like a charm. Hey, thanks. Blow me up, Tom.
Here you go, Mitchell. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Chris on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Tom, show me the way, brother. When I first started listening to your show about a month ago, I was like, I sort of agreed with you and I sort of didn't, because like your last caller, I've always been considered the nice guy. I've got so many female friends, none of them ever want to touch me. They're like, oh, don't worry. You'll find somebody someday. You're right there. You're just like, you're too good to be alone. And I'm thinking to myself, well, why aren't you with me? You'll find you're a nice guy, blah, blah, blah. There's a bunch of bull snizzle.
Yeah, but what they're doing is they're saying that stuff to you so you will stop asking them out on a date.
Yeah, and so...
They're trying to throw you off.
So I don't understand it. Now I've always wanted, my New Year's resolution was to start being meaner. And my friend came up to me the other day, he's like, how come you're still being nice? And my friend Rob, and he says, why are you still being nice? I said, I don't know. It's still not getting me anywhere. I'm still not doing anything. Nobody's interested in me in the slightest sense of the word. I call them back when I'm supposed to. I'm doing everything I'm supposed to.
That's so why.
My friend Danielle was sitting right with them, and she says, the reason I have Danielle has her arms around me for her, I'm mean to her. I don't give her what she wants. And then she nodded her head and said, that is the exact reason why I'm with you. And I was like, what the world is going on here? Am I upside down? I said, what about Tom Leykis? He'll know what to do. So I decided to call your show and show me the way, Tom.
Well, your friends are onto something. Treat women like crap, and they respect you. Treat them with dignity. Treat them with respect, and they walk on you. And Chris, tell me that's not true.
Oh, it's very true, Tom. I can't think of an instance where I've only had one serious relationship, and it came down to the whole religion thing. But other than that, 99.9% of the time, that's exactly what happens.
So you need to do the opposite of anything your instincts tell you to do. If your instincts say send flowers, don't.
Right.
If your instincts say take her to a nice dinner, don't. If your instincts say, tell her how beautiful she looks, don't.
Right. So I guess now it's defeating my conscience. That's always been the big problem. How do I defeat my conscience other than...
Do you feel guilty? Let me ask you a question.
Sure.
When you go to the bathroom and you use a urinal, do you feel guilty if you don't call it the next day? and say, oh, my God, what relief. That was so great.
Oh, man.
Do you feel guilty?
Hell no.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. These chicks, you have to think of them as utilities.
Well, what I did once is that there was a girl, and she's my friend, or was my friend anyway.
Well, you got to stop with the female friends. That's rule number one.
Well, we were supposedly building towards something. And
stop at the building towards.
Gotcha. Not even.
And have you noticed all the jerks out there and the women you know, all your female friends all telling you about all these jerks they're dating?
Oh, yeah. Oh, he's a jerk. It's like, I want a nice guy. And I'm thinking, nice guy right here, sitting right here.
Right.
But it's not you.
They say that, but they continue having sex with jerks.
Yeah.
So, you see, you have to take a cue.
What did I do one time, and then I started realizing is that this girl was like, can I dance with you? And I said, no. And I love to dance, so I'm usually, yeah, all right.
Oh, you gotta.
Like, she came back to me, it's like,
by the way, unless you like going to gay bars, being a white man liking to dance, not a good thing.
No.
No.
Oh, well, I do. I like swing and ballroom and. Oh my
goodness! No, you're not serious, are you?
I am. I love doing that.
Do you watch Grey's Anatomy too?
What's that?
Do you watch Grey's Anatomy?
No.
Do you own a kitty cat?
No.
What kind of pets do you own?
I have no pets.
No pets?
No pets. I'd have a dog if I could, but.
Who won the last heavyweight bout, the Oscar de la Hoya fight? Who won that? Oh, it wasn't heavyweight. Who won the Oscar de la Hoya fight?
I don't remember.
What do you mean you don't remember?
I don't remember.
Did you ever know?
What's that? Yeah, because I know it passing by, but I don't watch boxing. So I don't.
How about I just ask you this way? Did Oscar de la Hoya win?
Who'd he fight?
This is what I'm talking about, Chris. You got to start acting more like a man. I mean a straight man.
Gotcha.
Straight men like sports.
I do.
I don't mean playing badminton with the girls. I mean
basketball and baseball. I watch that.
You watch and you know about them?
Yeah.
You watch them with other men?
Yeah.
Really? Who are these guys? You know them from math club in high school? Where do you know these guys who like to watch basketball?
Well, one used to be my roommate, and we went to high school together, and so he was a big, like, Giants fan, and so we'd watch it, you know, and everything. And I don't really have a baseball team anymore, but, you know, I used to be like a Dodgers fan growing up here in Las Vegas. And I hadn't been able to follow it because of my work and school schedules. But, yeah, I mean, I try to follow it the best I can.
And your name is not George?
No.
George McFly?
No.
You know, you sound like him.
Do I really?
Yes.
Oh. Well, George McFly was very insecure.
Why, yes.
Yes, he was. That would partially be me, too.
I know.
Oh.
You need to have the woman be insecure and you be secure.
Right.
And if you stop worrying about falling in love and having relationships and working towards the future...
Right.
And if you don't care whether they date other guys or they have MySpace pages or who's texting them and all that stuff that guys worry about...
Mm-hmm.
And just consider them like that urinal I was telling you about...
Right.
You'll be a very happy man.
That's right. All right, Tom, thank you for your advice. I will put back on my radio here and continue to listen.
All right.
And I'll call you and let you know how I progress in that world.
All right, George. Thank you. I mean, Chris. 1-800-5800-TOM.
Did he say ballroom dancing?
Ballroom dancing. I think George McFly was into that, too.
Just checking.
Yes. How about he takes the girls to the malt shop, where they tell them about all the guys they're actually having sex with. I'm tired of these jerks. Where's a nice guy? Well, I'm right here. Oh, you'll find the right person for you one day. Textbook case. Textbook. Believable. 1-800-5800-TOM is our telephone number. Oh, here's another one. Sam, you're on the Tom Leykis Show. Hello.
Hey, Tom.
Hey, Sam.
All right. Now, I empathized a lot with the caller before this guy, and I think I've had somewhat of an epiphany with this last caller. See, I've always treated girls real nice and open doors and been real kind and sweet and sincere. And what happens to me is I really start hating them eventually, almost immediately after the relationship starts. And at that point is when I become insincere and I become a jerk. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. And the chick loves me. She loves me for real, and she wants the most long relationship for the rest of our lives. And about that time, I leave and I find someone else, and there's always someone there because they know me and I've been around and I've been with a bunch of different girls. So I think what I need to start doing is, I guess, stop talking to these chicks like I'm trying to fall in love, but it's just hard to convince myself that too.
Well, Sam, how about the fact that what you're doing will never work? Will that convince you?
Well, it's starting to convince me real quick.
It will never, ever work.
I agree.
You know when it'll work? When you're over 35 and you meet a woman with more than 100,000 miles on the odometer, the kind of woman who place ads online saying, I've had my fun, don't want to play games, don't like liars. Of course, they spent their whole lives dating liars and loving it. Then they look at the calendar and realize, my God, my eggs are getting old.
Well, you know, and as soon as I become the liar, as soon as I become the ass in the relationship, it's like all the other girls around me immediately gravitate. It's like, well,
that's right.
Now.
So you've seen it work.
It's so easy to move on at that point, but and then I'm stuck back in the beginning, looking and saying to myself, well, maybe I should really start looking something to hold on to or something like that. But it's really starting to
forget about holding on to anything.
So just don't even hold on to anything. Just not even start. What about the in and out?
I'll tell you what. There's only, you know what? In life, there's only one thing you should hold on to. That's it. You know what I mean? Our email address is my name. It's Tom@blowmeuptom.com.
The Tom Leykis.
And as soon as I become the liar, as soon as I become the ass in the relationship, it's like all the other girls around me immediately gravitate. It's like, well,
that's right.
Now.
So you've seen it work.
It's so easy to move on at that point, but and then I'm stuck back in the beginning, looking and saying to myself, well, maybe I should really start looking something to hold on to or something like that. But it's really starting to
forget about holding on to anything.
So just don't even hold on to anything. Just not even start. What about the in and out?
I'll tell you what. There's only, you know what? In life, there's only one thing you should hold on to. That's it. You know what I mean? Our email address is my name. It's Tom@blowmeuptom.com.
The Tom Leykis Show.